Thailand or Bali, probably one of the most difficult decisions when you're thinking about where you should travel. We've spent quite a bit of time in both, so in this video we are going to compare the two and break down the difference between the food, the price, the ease of travel, the people, the culture, and of course the beaches. So stick around, make sure you subscribe to our channel because we have so many other videos like this coming your way, and if you want to drop a comment and leave your opinion too, we would love to hear it.
Firstly, one thing you have to note is that Bali is just an island and Thailand is a whole country. So Thailand's going to have a whole lot more variety and a lot more distance to travel. But don't let Bali fool you because Bali is compact and it has absolutely everything within an arm's reach. So the first thing we're going to compare is beaches, because let's be honest, if you're going to Bali or Thailand, you're going for the beaches. So first of all, Bali has some pretty spectacular beaches, but what you're going to find is in places like Canggu and Seminyak and a whole lot of other places, you're going to get this black sand, and that's from the volcanoes. So you're not going to get those pristine white sand beaches that you might get in Thailand. In fact, in Thailand, you have some of the most beautiful beaches in the entire world, like Maya Bay from the beach. And also you can go to islands like Koh Kud, Koh Phangan, Koh Phi Phi. There are so many with these beautiful beaches. Bali also has some really nice beaches, but you got to be wary, there's a little bit of rubbish at some of them and you have that black sand. So stick to places like Nusa Lembongan if you want that white sand experience. One final thing to note is you cannot surf in Thailand, but you can surf in Bali. But because we're just comparing beaches in this one, Thailand takes the cake.
All right, now we're going to compare how easy it is to get around in both places. We're going to start with Bali because it is quite small and compact. What you'll find is that you can easily travel from places like Canggu down to Uluwatu and even across to places like Nusa Lembongan in a very short amount of time. Mind you, there is a little bit of traffic in Bali, but when you're moving from place to place, it actually doesn't take too much time and it is reasonably affordable because you're not traveling huge distances. Compared to Thailand. Now Thailand is a huge country. You can explore the islands, you can hang out in Phuket, you can go all the way up to Chiang Mai, and then of course even on the other side of the Gulf you've got Koh Kud, Koh Chang. So because of the size of Thailand, it takes a lot longer to get around and you're probably looking at around 6 to 8 hour car drives, which can cost a couple of $100s, or you might even have to catch a flight from Phuket to say Koh Samui, which can also cost you a couple of $100s. So when you're looking at costs and distance of travel, Bali takes the cake.
Next, we're going to talk about the scenery. So apart from the beaches, Thailand has some pretty epic scenery. You have these awesome rock formations in Krabi. You have Chiang Mai where you can live up in the hills above the clouds, and that's pretty spectacular. We actually stayed at this place above the clouds. We woke up there, the bed overlooked all the mountains and it was incredible. Whereas with Bali, you have these epic cliffs like Nusa Penida. You would have seen on social media these videos, these massive cliffs, and contrasted with this crystal blue water, manta rays and all of those sorts of things. Also, Bali has some huge volcanoes. So when you look over at Bali from other places like Nusa Lembongan or Nusa Penida, you can see these massive volcanoes. Additionally, in Bali you get Ubud and places that are a bit inland that have a heap of rice paddies, lush green rice paddies, and these are incredibly beautiful, calming places to go. So it's hard to pick, but for this one I would have to pick Bali.
All right, next up we are going to compare the local food. Both places have the most amazing food, don't get me wrong, but we do prefer one over the other. First, let's start with Bali. So Bali has some amazing local foods, especially their nasi campur. Now, if you've ever been to Bali before, you would have seen a local warung. I had no idea what this was before we went to Bali last trip, which was only like a month ago. And basically a local warung is just a small shop that is run by local people, and a lot of them have a dish called nasi campur. Now what that looks like is a bit of rice in the middle, and then you get to choose all of your little side dishes around it, and it makes up this big plate of so many different spices and flavors and just yummy goodness. If you find one that has a buffet style, you have to try it. I fell in love with these and actually became quite obsessed. So yum. Along with that, you've also got the nasi goreng, which I'm sure you've heard of, the babi guling, and then also the beef rendang. Now we're going to pop a place here. If you're in Ubud and you find this restaurant, we had the best beef rendang of our entire life. So I'll pop it on the screen here, or Tice will, and you got to give that a go. Now let's go to Thailand. Now we have spent a lot of time in Thailand and we love the food. From all of the amazing curries, especially the massaman curry, you've got your green curry and your yellow and your red, yum. Then you've got pad thai, pad see ew. And then not to mention, when you go to a night market, which we actually didn't really find in Bali, you have so many different options, from chicken satay skewers, which are my favorite, and then also don't forget the little coconut pancakes. Now, if you see these in Thailand, you have to get them. We love the night markets. It's so cheap and just the food is amazing. And we could literally live off Thai food. We actually did when we first got to Thailand for 3 months. We had Thai food, breakfast, lunch and dinner for 3 whole months, and we didn't get sick of it. So for us, Thailand, local food wins this one.
But when we're talking about international food, that's when Bali really takes over. Bali is made up of a lot of these 5-star pretty much international restaurants. If you go to places like Canggu, Ubud, Uluwatu, you're going to find these incredible restaurants with food from all over the world. In fact, we went to a couple. We went to Mei Mei in Canggu, which was absolutely fantastic and we would recommend. We went to Papi Sapi in Uluwatu and had one of the best steaks we've had. They also know how to do brunch. Because we're from Melbourne, brunch is literally like the main meal of the day. So to go to another country and have brunches that beat what Melbourne has to offer, then you know it's saying something. In Thailand, you can still get this. In Bangkok, they have wonderful international food and you'll get some of the best food for affordable prices that you'll have anywhere in the world. If you step outside of Bangkok and outside of the big cities and you go to the islands, then the international food is going to be still good, but it's just not up to that Bali standard. So, Bali for international food. One thing we need to talk about is the people and the culture. So first, starting with Thailand, the land of smiles. The people are absolutely lovely. There is definitely a little bit of a hustle culture in the main areas, in the touristy areas. So just be aware of that. It doesn't feel as genuine as it probably once was. But as soon as you step out of those tourist areas, they are incredibly friendly and incredibly helpful. When you do go to Thailand, you will definitely get the authentic Asia experience. You know, it's rough and ready. When you travel around, you will feel the culture, which is fantastic. Bali in Indonesia is similar in the aspect that the people are extremely friendly and hospitable, but that hustle culture hasn't seemed to transition into the tourist areas, and in fact the people are still lovely and hospitable and seem quite genuine in those areas too. One thing that stands out about Bali is their deep connection to religion, and it really brings the community together. We were there for Nyepi and saw everyone celebrate in their little communities, and it was a really beautiful thing to see. But you also see Hindu offerings every morning. They put these offerings down on the street and then they go to temple and they pray, and these things are all ingrained in their culture. So for that reason, we would choose Bali.
Okay, so when it comes to things to do in both places, it is a really close call. There is so many similarities between Thailand and Bali in terms of, in both places you can go scuba diving, you can go snorkeling, you can jump on a boat and explore different islands, you can do cooking classes, you can get massages, you can do all of those things, you can go hiking. But a standout for us was that Bali has these amazing volcanoes. Thailand doesn't have any volcanoes that I know of, I could be wrong on that, but Bali has these amazing huge volcanoes that are so beautiful. We didn't actually climb them, but you can. We did spend some time in Nusa Penida and just having our morning coffee overlooking the water and witnessing these stunning mountains was just something so special. But Thailand does have beautiful landscapes like this too. If you do head up north towards Chiang Mai and Pai, you can find yourself in a beautiful lush jungle and you can do hikes or maybe even motorcycle your way through all of these beautiful places as well. But I think for this one, it is really tough to pick and there are so many amazing things to do, so we're going to give it a Thai.
Probably the most important thing to talk about is the cost of living in both places, and they are honestly quite similar. The food, local food, you're going to get really cheap local food. So you can pay anywhere between $1 to $5 per meal. And that's the same in both Thailand and Bali. So if you went to a warung in Bali, or if you went and got yourself a massaman curry and rice in Thailand, you're paying about the same. Where things really differ is the accommodation. So in Bali, because it's small and compact, there is less and less accommodation, meaning that the prices have gone up quite a lot. So on average, be spending about 25% more when you do travel around Bali and stay in those places. So when you compare a place like Canggu to a popular place like Phuket in Thailand, then Canggu is definitely going to be 25% or more expensive. When you step out of those really popular places, like let's say you went and stayed in Chiang Mai in Thailand, or you stayed outside of Ubud in Bali, then you're going to be paying a lot less, and you can probably find places around the same price. So for a one bedroom in Chiang Mai, you're looking to pay around 250 to 400 USD per month. For a one bedroom in Canggu, you're looking to pay around 500 to 800 USD per month. And like we mentioned before, transport is a big difference. So, you know, when you are traveling in Thailand, you'll have to pay for flights, you'll have to pay for boats, you'll have to pay for cars, and most of those transports are going to cost you about $100 or more, other than the ferries. The ferries are about the same price as in Bali, maybe $10 to $20 per ferry. In Bali, you can get a private driver to take you from place to place, and it's only going to really cost you around $20 to $30 maximum. So unfortunately, we're going to have to tie this one as well. Bali and Thailand both win. So the verdict is in, and it is 6-4 Bali's way. It's easy to rate a place based on these points and these categories, but really it's what you enjoy the most. So if you do want to climb a volcano, then you go to Bali. If you want to surf, you go to Bali. If you want that authentic experience and you want to meet the people and you want to, drive around the country and get into the thick of it, we would choose Thailand. Or if you want those white sand beaches and that perfect tropical island, we will pick Thailand. Abby and I, we both love Thailand so much, and the food and everything. So for this video, and to summarise for us, we would choose Thailand. Not to say that we didn't love Bali while we were there. If you agree with us, let us know below. We'd love to know in the comments, and your reasons. Tell us why. Also, if you like this video, please like it and subscribe. We've got epic videos coming your way soon. See ya.